Well, good morning. My name is Peter Lee. I'm a commercial, landscape and wildlife photographer, and this morning I had the great pleasure of being at the Merced National Wildlife Refuge, and I've arrived here, I guess about 20 minutes before sunrise. So please join me as we look at the beautiful sunrise, the birds on this gorgeous morning. The Merced National Wildlife Refuge, that's located in the Central Valley of California, and it's some, 10,262 acres of wetlands, nature, grasslands, vernal pools and riparian areas. And it is very special, particularly this time of year, which is in October of 2021, and each year we see something like 20,000 cranes. Can you imagine it? 20,000 cranes. And there's also added to that some 60,000 Arctic nesting geese, and they all terminate their annual migration from Alaska and Canada to take refuge here for about 6 months. And so it's a very wonderful time to be here for the sunrise and also just to welcome in the migratory birds. So I have this recording on a Sony video camcorder, and added to that I'll be taking pictures with my Canon EOS 5 DSR, which is the camera here. And it's got on the camera this big lens. It's a 500 millimeter f4.LIS, that's image stabilization, which I won't be using, prime lens. I also have on here a 1.4 extender, so that makes my lens now a 700 millimeter prime lens. Absolutely amazing. But of course the f4 makes it, well, with the extender goes up to a max aperture of f5.6. Still enough, a wide enough aperture to allow in plenty of light. The Canon 5 DSR, it's an absolute superb camera, 51 megapixels, and I've been using this for, well over 3 years, and it takes absolutely wonderful pictures of the birds, but they need to be sort of nesting or in the bushes, or certainly they need to be sort of in one location and not moving around, and not like birds in flight. For birds in flight, it's somewhat abysmal because it has just 5 frames per second, and the buffer rate is also not very good. So for birds in flight, I don't use this at all. It's really only suitable for static birds. It comes in at about 12 pounds for the camera and the lens. It's quite big, and so what I have this mounted on is what's called a gimbal, and this is the Pro Media Katana gimbal, and that allows it to move quite easily without bearing a weight of 12 pounds, which is quite considerable. So if the Canon 5 EOS 5 DSR is good for static birds, then what do I use for birds in flight? Well, I also have beside me, or actually in the car, I have the Canon EOS R5 camera. That's the mirrorless camera, and that's kitted out with a 100 to 400 millimeter zoom lens at f4.5 to 5.6, and that gives me more frames per second, an enormous buffer rate, and so for birds in flight I'll be using the Canon R5, and for the static birds, which I'll be doing this morning, I'm going to be using the Canon EOS 5 DSR with this, what amounts to a 700 millimeter zoom lens. It's absolutely phenomenal. So what else do we need to consider? Well, I have camouflage covering on the lens itself. That's quite important because birds do recognize color, and certainly if you're going to go out with a white shirt, well, don't go out with a white shirt. It will scare the birds away. They see white and they'll say, oh gosh, he's a human. And that would make the birds very skittish. So not only do I have camo on the lens itself, but I also wear, in this case, a Belgian combat jacket, which is camouflage, and that makes it much easier to work in front of the birds, and it saves them being skittish and running a mile away, because you do want to take a picture of the birds. And likewise, I don't use a ball cap with a peak because it gets in the way of trying to look through the viewfinder, so I just have my good old British beret, the British beret, very, very important. So, we're going to have a wonderful time this morning. This is going to be some 20 minutes before the sunrise, so watch it to the end and you'll see the lovely, lovely colours of the sunrise, all these wonderful oranges and reds and the birds themselves. It's absolutely spectacular, and I trust you'll enjoy this as much as well, I certainly do enjoy it early in the morning. So, is there anything else besides the camera, the lens, and being at the Merced National Wildlife Refuge? Well, just one thing, because it's early morning and I do bring my breakfast with me. So being a Brit, I like to have my egg salad sandwiches and a flask of coffee. And if you were here, you'd be able to join me and have a wonderful breakfast of egg salad sandwiches and a cup of coffee. And what else is there? Yes, there is one other thing. You need to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to have other videos. I've got a few already, but there'll be more videos. And my aim is to help you to also be an excellent photographer, to be able to take birds in flight, to be able to photograph birds and enjoy the photography as much as I do. So please do subscribe to my channel and hit that subscribe button. And also there's a thumbs up if you like it. I trust you won't dislike my video, but do please remember the two things: to subscribe to my channel and to, if you like the video, if you like this sunrise at the Merced National Wildlife Refuge, please do give it a thumbs up. If you've got comments, please list the comments and I'll try my best to answer the comments at the same time. So this is Peter Lee, a commercial landscape and wildlife photographer, wishing you all the best and signing off, and thank you very much for watching my wonderful video. And now I'm going to take time off to have my breakfast. Egg salad sandwiches and a flask, or at least a cup of coffee. So thank you and bye.